Hello and good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Naturist resort session.
This time we are going to take you all the way to the very south of Italy.
Yep.
And as always, we are Nick and Linz, your hosts for tonight, and we would really like to know where you're from. So please use the chat function. If you scroll your mouse, you can see a button that says chat, or if you're watching on a phone, you can just scroll and you find the chat function and tell us where you are, where you're calling in from, where you're watching from.
I just said something in the chat. All right, normally you should receive it. Oh, okay. Ooh, Mexico, France. Nice.
Gerardo is here from Mexico.
Hi.
Oh, Los Angeles, cool. Okay, before we get started, we have to do some housekeeping. As you have to know, this event will be recorded, but it's important that only the speakers are recorded. So don't mind to put your video on, don't mind to type in the chat, because it's not going to be recorded, it's anonymous for you. All the questions you can have, you may ask them in the chat. Just told you where the chat function is. It's at the bottom. You just click the button. You can ask whatever question you want. We will answer them, or we're not going to answer them. We're going to ask them to our guests. At the end of the session, there's a Q&A of about 15 minutes where we will ask all the questions, but just put them in the chat whenever they come up to you. Put them down, write them down, and we will answer them. Of course, hate speech and indecent behavior is not allowed, not tolerated, and definitely not appreciated. And also important to mention is that we put lots of time in organizing these things, and that every session is free because we want to reach a huge public on here, on YouTube, everywhere. But of course, if you want to support this or anything else we do for naturism, it's very nice to get to be supported on Patreon, because thanks to our Patreons, we can do these things. So if you want to support us, definitely check out patreon.com/nakedwanderings, and you can help us out like a lot.
And also, it's just a fun community, honestly. Yeah. Our Patreon community is growing and growing, and it's really, it's a fun group. So if you want to be part of this little group, you can also just subscribe for that.
It's a fun place to be. You get lots of like bloopers and behind the screen things. Really, check it out. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please press the subscribe button so you never have to miss anything of what we are publishing. And we publish a lot lately on YouTube.
Yeah, right? That's true. Yeah, and there's, of course, a lot more to come because we are still in quarantine.
But most of all, let's make this a fun online event.
Absolutely. All right.
And let's get started. Our guests for tonight are Pierre and Martine from Grottamiranda in Italy. Pierre and Martine, come stai?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you doing?
Very well. We are in France, but we are also in Italy. Do you see Italy over there?
It's probably warmer than in France.
Yeah. We had a very nice temperature, around 20 degrees today, but we are still in France for the moment, and we will come back to Italy in April.
Okay. Good times are on their way.
Yeah, it's important to see the sun.
Absolutely.
We will explain later why your resort is in Italy and why you're in France. But first of all, Grottamiranda. Tell us something about it.
What can we say? Grottamiranda. First of all, Grottamiranda is in South Italy. And is first of all naturist. It's the best thing we were able to do was to be naturist. Grottamiranda is in Puglia. It is just in front of Greece and Albany, and it's in a very flat region full of olive trees, and with a very nice Adriatic Sea, which is always blue and sometimes turquoise. So yes, it's a place we love, and Grottamiranda is our baby, and is very for us a very nice naturist baby. And what could I say? With Grottamiranda, we tried to be as naturist as possible, to give our guests as comfort as possible. And it's a small place, so we welcome Bas, Michel, Jon. We don't welcome Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And everyone is very special, is one person and not another. And so we hope that everyone is free to express his or her wishes and ideas by us.
And just to complete, is we created this resort in Italy because we love Italy and we wanted to receive, to welcome people. So it is very important for us to remain small and to know everybody. And as Pierre told you, every person is unique, and it's important for us to be close to our guests, to organize the best holidays they can have. And I saw Claudia, I saw many persons I recognized, so I hope it was also a nice memory for you, for them. And because the most important thing for us is to be close to our guests and to organize what they want for their holidays, to personalize. So that's why Bas is important, Claudia is important, everyone is important. And after that, to create links between people. Of course, all the persons are free to participate to the events or not. But the best pleasure we have is when, for example, we have an international dinner with all the different nationalities, and suddenly we discover that all the naturists of the world are able to speak all together and to know them. It's really, yes, I think the identity,
it's a gift for us.
It's a gift for us, and I think it's also the identity of the place. Puglia, yeah, comfort, apartments, and conviviality, friendship, to know all the person and to personalize their holidays for them. Yeah, that's Grottamiranda.
I don't know if everybody is feeling this at their own home, but just asking you guys that question, the energy that's coming to the screen, the warmth, oh my God, it's incredible. It's really your baby. Yeah. How old is your baby? How old is Grottamiranda now?
We never agree together.
5 years.
Because for Martine, it is 5 years old, and for me, it's 6 years old.
Okay, yeah.
Because we created in 2015, but our first season was in 2016.
Okay.
So it's
5.5.
5.5. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite long. It's young, anyway.
Yeah.
So,
and it's a small family, and it's always a pleasure to see that after 2 years, 3 years, we still have contact with the person, and we have many messages. And we were, both of us, in the HR. We were human resources directors in France, and one day we decided to leave to leave France and to leave our job, especially in order to work for the satisfaction of the person. And we have that in Grottamiranda, in this small family, I think.
How do you switch from a job in HR to becoming the owner of a naturist resort?
Aha, secret.
Perhaps it was time.
Yeah.
Perhaps it was time. And I think Martine can tell you a small story about that. Because there is a story.
There is a story.
And always
I will try to do short, but because it's a long story, you see. First of all, we love Italy. Since I was 15 years old, every year we were in Italy. Every year in April, we had to travel to Italy in order to discover all the country. And we love the people, we love the language, we love the gastronomy, the cooking. That's the first thing. And one day, and that's a small story, it was in 2012, you're right, 12, yeah. We were in Corsica in a naturist resort, Baghera, beautiful place,
Yeah.
on the beach, like this, lying like this. And suddenly, you see, you can imagine, I saw Marie giving some towels to the newcomers, to the new guests. And I told Pierre, I want to be Marie. I want to be this woman. I want to give towels. That's my aim. And Willie, could you buy Baghera for me? Could you buy this beautiful beach? I want to create something for naturism and to develop naturism and to welcome people with towels.
Yeah.
So we went to Italy in order to have Italy and naturism. You see?
Wow, it's a beautiful story.
It's the perfect combination.
Yeah. And I understand why you want to be more like Marie. We've met Marie this summer, and I agree.
She's really nice.
She's really nice.
Yeah, very generous also.
So people, when they come to Grottamiranda, they can expect that they get a towel from you when they.
Yes, they all are welcomed by Martine, because Martine welcomes every guest.
Yeah.
So she runs to the gate and open it. And so, yes, she has this job, this duty.
Yeah. But it comes so naturally.
Yeah, and the other thing, of course, Italy, of course, naturism, but we wanted to change our life, you see, and it was finally obvious. Around 50 years old, you want to have a new youngness, a new youth. Sorry for the mistake in English, but to have a new aim in your life, and to create a baby in a country not very well known for naturism. It was a big challenge, but we did it, and especially in a region we didn't know before. And we are very, very pleased for that.
Yeah. Weren't you scared to go to Italy? Because, like you say, it's not an obvious choice to open a naturist resort in Italy, where naturism is not really that developed yet.
The Pope is there.
Yeah.
The Pope.
No one tells us about the Pope. No one. Never. No, we weren't scared, because as we were going to Italy every year, as we have always been discovering Italy for holidays, we decided to go to Puglia in 2013, and we bought a first small house, a trullo, which is the round house over there, which is typical. And for us, it was perfect. There was sun, water, nice people, nice food, culture. It was really a huge, a perfect time. So when we decided to create a naturist resort, we didn't think to anything else. It was obvious it was in Puglia, because we had this house. We haven't it anymore now, but it was clear it was in Puglia, and it was clear also, it was obvious that it was naturist.
Yeah.
And
directly.
We didn't worry, we didn't wonder whether it was possible or not. It was naturist. Yeah. And we had no problem with that. we created Grottamiranda. We have many relationships with all the people who work for us, the people who have shops in the town, San Vito dei Normanni, and no one told us anything about naturism in Grottamiranda, and we never had any problem. Once we had the police who came because they have a job they must control.
To check everything, the financial administration.
And they remained 2 hours, I think. We chatted together and it was perfect. And they understood very well. And they went to the reception. We stayed there. They were dressed, but our guests didn't notice anything because it's like that. And I think people are more open-minded than they say themselves, because they say that they are not open-minded, but I think they are. So.
And I think Italy seems to be not very well known for naturism, okay? But Italian people are very naturist. Really, we have a lot of Italian guests, especially last year, and we know that everywhere in Croatia, in France, in Spain, in Corsica, you can meet many Italian people naturist. So the country is not known for that because we have only, I think, 17 naturist beaches, you see. We have only 13 naturist holiday resort or camping sites, but Italian people are convinced and they respect the real naturism also with the values. So and when we met some people in the town center, and we said we are naturists, never we had any problem. It is accepted. So it's easy. Finally, it's really easy.
We don't know what they say in the city near us. Obviously.
We are cool.
But I never saw a smile. I never saw someone laughing. No, never. So it was not difficult.
Yeah, and I have a small question. I saw a question about the airport. Would you like us to answer now?
You can reply now if you want. Let's talk about other recommendations, but if you want, you can reply.
Okay, so we have 2 airports close to the resort. The biggest one is Bari Airport, about
130 kilometers.
Yeah, 1 hour from us. And we have another one, Brindisi, about 25 kilometers from us. And we have many direct flights from all the different countries, from Europe and also worldwide, USA, Australia, and so on. So now the region, even if it's a very traditional region, not very touristic, but the region is really open to the world with the 2 airports, Bari and Brindisi.
Yeah. And just
thank you for the question.
And just to clarify for people who don't know where Puglia is in the south, so
it's
not in the north.
Italy is a boot and Puglia is the heel.
Yeah. So.
Yes. Thank you.
Brindisi has a lot of low-cost airlines as well. Ryanair flies on it. I think several others. It's very cheap to fly from Brindisi from many places in Europe. And even if you fly to Rome, there's a high-speed train, I think.
Yes, there is. To Bari.
Yeah, so you think it was 3 hours or so from Rome or 5 hours from Rome to Bari?
It's five hours, I think. Yes, it's not that hard. But I must say that we are not so far from Naples. So we have many people who land in Naples. they stay in Naples, and after that they come to us,
Yeah.
or they come to us, and after they leave Italy from Naples. It's also a nice trip, even if it's not in Puglia. it's quite nice.
That's perfect to combine. Yeah.
Yes.
And even the first year, we were very surprised to welcome so many different nationalities. And after 5 years or 6 years, we welcome already 38 different nationalities.
Nice.
Also in Italy, from Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Israel, Iraq, or you see, yeah. So Puglia is more and more known, I think now, but still, easy to reach.
Let's talk a bit more about the Italians, because to us as well, it seems like they all go to Corsica, they go to Croatia.
Yeah.
But in Italy, we didn't meet many of them. Is it still a taboo? Are they afraid to meet their neighbor at the naturist resort, or
is that why they go abroad more, or
I don't know how many Italian people are watching, but I hope they won't be.
Be careful.
Claudia.
Everybody should watch it.
I think the first thing is, really, I'm convinced that the first thing is that the mama mustn't know that I am naturist.
Mm-hmm.
So, as the mama mustn't know, the cousins mustn't know, the village mustn't know, because everything is known. Mm-hmm. So, when you go to a naturist holiday, you must go far away.
Yeah.
So, I think it's the first reason. It's easier to go to Croatia and not to tell the family. It's easier to go to Corsica for the same thing.
Yeah.
But there is a second reason, which is not, I think it's really important, that when you are from Milano, from Torino, from Venezia, you are in the north and you are very far from Puglia. Mm-hmm. You have 1,200 kilometers to drive before arriving to us. So, of course, it's so easier to drive 2 hours and to reach Croatia.
Yeah.
It's so easy to take the boat in Livorno and to reach Corsica in, I don't know how many hours, but 3 hours perhaps, I don't know. But it's really easy. Coming to Puglia means having a flight and renting a car or coming by car. So when you drive for 12 hours,
it's a long way.
It's a hard job. So we had this year many guests who drove the whole night to reach the resort, and they were very tired. I can understand. So it's why also. And there is a little story about people. Many times we have some calls from people in the south of Italy, and they ask us, do you have someone from my town? And if you have anyone from my town, I don't come. I will wait for 1 week. Because it's the problem. We don't want our family, our cousins, our friends to know we are naturists.
Yeah.
It's why, but there are millions of naturists, and they are
think about it. If you
convinced.
think about that question, it doesn't make any sense because both of them are at the naturist resort. So it doesn't make any sense if there's somebody at the resort or not, because you're both there enjoying the naturist lifestyle. So it doesn't make any sense.
But
I get it. Yeah.
It's our pleasure to make people easy with that, comfortable with that. Yeah. And at the end, after some times, people are coming back without hitting it. And that's, for me, that's much better. But you can't change a mind.
It's culture.
No, it's like this. But there is nothing to see with the Pope. I think it's
But you know, I don't know if it was the same for you, Nick and Linz, but also in France, it was our case. Personally, I wait for maybe 10 years before telling to my parents, you know, I'm naturist, I'm always naked. And we never had another type of holidays since we get married. But my parents didn't know that.
No.
It was the same in France, you see. And today we have, for example, 2 children. Our daughter is naturist, but our son refused it. So I think it's not a question of France, Italy, Italian people also not. Personally, every person can find the best time and to love this art of living and to be ready and to trust his body and to trust him to have this experience. So I think Italian people are the same as everywhere.
It's the same everywhere. For us, it was the same. We in the beginning we went to places far away, but then we realized everybody goes to places far away. And we met a friend like at a faraway place. We met somebody we knew because everybody goes.
Yeah, I can imagine.
People from Italy go to Croatia and then they all get together.
The thing is, and we have to admit that the reason why we didn't want to say it to our parents or to our friends at the beginning was because the information that was available was not correct, or there was not like the real values of naturism. And that's also one of the reasons why we started our blog, to tell people about the real values of naturism, and that it has nothing to do with sexuality, because still a lot of people
it's true
think about it, and we think that we need to be more open for it. But what do you think? What is the next step to normalize naturism, and that people are more able to say it, hey, I went to a naturist holiday and it's fine with it?
For me, it's a question of freedom. It's a question of feeling free. And perhaps people don't tell their parents because they don't want to get an authorization allowing them to be naked and remaining free to make decisions. I think it's a part of the question, and I think that the more the countries and the people will accept that being free means I can be dressed or I can be naked in the places where I want to go, will be a real step with accepting naturism. And I mean, I don't think it can be mixing being dressed and being naked, because you have people who are very shocked by naked people. But accepting and allowing people being as they want to be seems to be a real progress for me. And not getting this authorization. Yes, I think it's part of our in what we believe. Yes, it's really, really important. And I think I don't know if it's good to tell it, but I think it can be a part of the International Federation job. If Italy, I think, I was working today, and I was thinking, if Italy was receiving an award for a naturist art of living, perhaps Italy could understand that developing naturism, real naturism, is a nice part of tourism and is a way to increase tourism, and people who are interested in culture in the country, who are taking care on the country, because we all know that naturists don't throw their rubbish everywhere and are taking care at the beaches, etc., etc. And so I was thinking that would be great, knowing that this country is naturist friendly.
Yeah.
I could say.
Yeah,
That
to
would
have
be
an
nice.
award.
And after that, I'm free to choose a naturist resort, a dressed holidays resort. That would be nice. And I can have cousins, children, and they make the choice they want. And that would be nice. And because we are used as naturists, we are used to accept the differences and not to see them. And you can be as you want to be. So that could be, for me, that could be a thing which could be given to the countries which welcome naturist resorts and naturist people.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I answered your question precisely,
Yeah,
but
definitely,
yeah.
Yeah.
And you are very close to the Naturist Federation in each country. That could be also a good thing to see if one day we can have an award, a sort of award for each country to be naturist friendly. That's our dream. Yeah.
We feel sometimes that organized naturism is focusing too much on what naturism is not. They're always yelling, naturism is not sexual, naturism is not for old people, stuff like that. But maybe they should focus on what naturism is. And especially today, the responsible traveling will become really big. Now with COVID especially, we've all seen the things. We've seen the plastic islands in the Pacific Ocean. We've seen Venice, it's sinking because of too many people. And naturism is responsible traveling. We don't leave garbage. We have respect for the places we visit, for the people we meet. So it would be, naturism is responsible traveling.
Yeah.
And it's also human meeting human.
Yeah.
And that is really important. It's so yes, naturism is much more than what it's not.
Of course.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But we need rules, of course. We
Yeah.
need rules, but we must focus on the pleasure being a naturist, that more than what we are not.
Yeah.
And our best pleasure also in our resort is when people are coming to us for the first time. You see, it's a big responsibility. They trust you in order to discover a new style of living, and step by step to feel comfortable with, and to discover a new freedom. And it's really a nice story, always to be done, to be comment dire, être raconté, to be told. Sorry,
Our English.
Our English. We can speak French, Italian, English, and also Dutch a little. Yeah, yeah. To be called, just to open the mindset to people, to see, to prove that finally it's more question of freedom and values and nothing else, really. And it's our best pleasure. I remember a nice story. It was 2 years ago, a very young couple around, I think, your age, you see, your age.
Thank you.
Yeah, very young. And they were from Lithuania. And they decided for the first time, you see, the first naturist experience, to choose Italy, and a small region not very well known at the end of the country. Of course, because it's beautiful and we have many sights to see, but also because they wanted to have a new experience. And that's the best story to develop naturism.
Yeah.
Voilà.
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of first-time visitors, people who try naturism for the first time?
Yes, more and more.
More and
And
more.
that's great.
And younger. Really?
That's good.
Yeah, like you.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah. And we have all ages. All ages.
Mm-hmm. What's the secret behind it that you get first timers and more young people, you think?
I don't know.
Difficult to say. The result is small. So you are not, when you are a bit shy, it's not a problem. You are not lost.
Mm-hmm.
In a big resort, not knowing how you can manage yourself.
Mm-hmm.
The first time we went to a naturist resort, we didn't know how it was. Was it necessary to undress when we arrive at the reception, etc., etc.? You have plenty of questions.
Yeah.
And
in a small structure.
yes, in a small resort like ours, it's easier to be comfortable, and you know that you will be welcomed by Pierre and Martine, and it's not you don't wonder whether it will be hard or not. You are welcome and secure, and you will be secure.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's and I think we are many small resorts have this story. I think
The personal touch.
yeah, and the first timers. Yeah.
And we like to be close to our guests. So every morning, good morning, how are you today? What will be your plan? And we can feel if the person feels comfortable or not. And we can help and we can be available to answer to all the questions they have. It's not a secret. It's a human relationship. That's all.
Yeah. And also you can speak from your own experience.
Yes, it was what I was thinking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I have been a naturist for 40 years now. And
already?
Yes.
Wow.
Thank you. And I convinced.
I'll cut it out.
I convinced my wife.
Yeah, I was shy.
So it's always a pleasure to share that with new people and show them that after 1 hour is finished, they are naturists.
Mm-hmm.
The important thing is to share and to chat and to
be available.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all.
That's why I think it's
and
always nice
to help people to feel at home, to feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, yeah.
Do you still have the chance to go on vacation? Or maybe
so,
maybe we should explain to people who are watching. You spend half of your time in Italy and the other half in Paris, where you're from.
Yeah.
But do you squeeze any vacation? And do you go on naturist vacations?
Last year we didn't. This year, of course, we didn't.
Yeah.
I must say that our best holidays and the best way we have a rest is when we go to Belgium.
Oh, really?
Because we enjoy so much to go to the spas in Belgium. Mm-hmm. And it's during winter, it's absolutely gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you go on vacation in Belgium?
Yeah.
To the spa.
But managing a resort like ours needs time also during the winter. So, and it's so pleasant being there that yes, time has a new value, I must say.
Mm-hmm.
We don't go to the office every day, and so we don't need as much to cut with everyday life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And a person wanted to have more information about the resort. I saw the question.
Mm-hmm.
maybe the person can be more precise, but just to present, it's a resort with different apartments because we wanted to give comfort to the person, to be naturist, but in a very nice area. And we have 13 apartments, 2 parts in the historical part of the old farm or the modern part. So you can have different decorations and different styles. And we have a pool, we have a wellness area, sport area, and in the middle of the olive groves, just close to the sea also, because we have a naturist beach close to us.
That was indeed the question. I think if people want to ask more or want to know more about Grottamiranda, please be as specific as possible, because yeah, we can talk for 15 hours about Grottamiranda, but that's not the purpose from this call, of course.
And yes, in the research, the beach is close to us, about 7 kilometers from the resort. So you can go there with your bicycle or with your car, and you have a parking place, and you can have a nice road to join the naturist part in a natural reserve. And we organize also in the resort, that's also our identity, many activities, many events for our guests, because our pleasure is really to personalize, to customize the holidays. So, for example, some people ask, I would like to rent a boat, I would like to organize a cruise, and we never did it before. We have never done it, before. So immediately we can organize something specific.
Yeah.
We organize naturist cruise. We organize the visit of all the different sites, very famous and historical in the region. And we organize also events, cooking lessons, or wine tasting also by Pierre, different events also at night to dance or to have a dinner all together. So that's, I think, to summarize, that could be the answer.
I just want to, I would like to explain one thing about the beaches in Italy. In Italy, you have the public beaches, which are not managed. It's not like in other countries. Many beaches are private. So the country habit is to rent the beaches to people who put a bar, some toilets and some beds, etc. Near the sea. To have a naturist beach, it's really difficult, because or you have a public beach, and many cities don't dare having a naturist beach. So it's easier perhaps to get an association beach or a private beach. Unfortunately, in Puglia, we haven't any official naturist beach. And so we have a tolerated beach where naturalists have been going for more than 25 years. And that is important, because it means that, of course, dressed people can come, but naturist people can be on this beach without being afraid. It's in a natural reserve. So there is no sunbed, there is no showers, there is no bar, there is nothing else. There is only a 15th century tower on the left, some bamboos behind, and a very white sandy curve, and 2 islands, small islands in front. So it's a really nice path.
I was just gonna say it sounds way better than a beach with a
beach ball.
shower and everything, where it's crowded and there you
Yes.
need a place for your.
It's a wild natural place,
Yeah.
very authentic. in
Yeah.
fact.
Yeah, nice.
But it's
I
very
hope,
important.
yeah.
It's very important to say and to explain that you have a very huge difference between public beaches, private beaches,
Mhm.
official naturist beaches, tolerated naturist beaches. It's important for me to be clear about that.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
So Amelia and Gunther, I hope that was an answer to your question. If you have more questions, you can, of course, put it in the chat. And also to Johan from France, if you have specific questions, please put it in the chat and we will ask them to Pierre and Martin, of course.
But like on a regular vacation, what do your guests do all day? Do they just spend their days at the pool, or do they visit places, or a mix? Like what do they do?
Many people go and visit because in Puglia we have many places to visit. It's a very cultural region. You had the Romans, you had the Greeks, you had the Romans, you had French, you had the Spanish, and then you had also the Germans. And you have 4 places which are UNESCO places, and many middle-aged cities. You have all the olive groves, you have the wine. You can go and have dinners and lunches everywhere in Puglia because it's a very famous place for food and dishes.
That's
so
true.
we have
All over Italy. All over Italy.
And maybe we can add a tip to it. If you go to Puglia and you order starters, normally that's enough. That's really
Yeah, we eat a lot.
you can have 12
that's the thing
dishes.
about Puglia, really.
Yeah. So people are visiting, eating, drinking, chatting,
Having a rest.
and yes, many people come and have a rest because many people come and have the aim to reach a quiet place. So at the resort, we must say you won't have any disco, you won't have anything like that. So you have relax and quietness. And so we also have many people who remain around the pool, and we have especially many Dutch people who cycle, and so they come for 2 nights or 3 nights. They have a rest after having visited North Puglia, and after they come 2 days for resting during 2 days, and after they go and finish that tour in the south. That's also, many people do that also, and it's quite nice because we can share about the places they saw. And but you have, for instance, Bari is a huge city for southern Italy, but it's really nice with middle-aged places, with a walk around the sea. With by us, you have some places which are Ostuni or Otranto, which is a city built on the sea. You have Lecce, which is Lecce Baroque. It's the small Firenze in the south.
So finally, to answer your question, people can do what they want, either having a rest in a quiet place with the sun and the wind, you see, and or visiting a huge region, very interesting. That's why also we love this region. We love Italy. It's the same everywhere. You can have a nice balance between culture and the sun, the beach,
the food,
and to stop your life.
Lots of people say that Puglia is the real Italy, the Italy from the movies, like La Bella Italia. That's really Puglia.
La Dolce Vita.
La Dolce Vita,
Yeah.
La Dolce
Like
Vita.
it's a hidden germ. Like everybody thinks of Italy. Of course, they think of Tuscany, the green and the hills and everything. But Puglia is nothing like that.
Yeah, different.
What
Yeah.
we found when we were there was like, okay, you really have to search for a beautiful place, but once you found it, it's so real and it's authentic, and it's not full with tourists, it's not full with tourist shops or souvenir shops or stuff like that.
No.
It's rough, it's rougher
Yeah.
than Tuscany. That was my
Yeah.
personal feeling.
And the advantage in the region, when you like to eat, you see, is that you have many restaurants
Yeah.
over there,
Yeah.
close to the resort. Pizza, you can have the choice for everything. Very simple pizza or fish restaurants or meat restaurant, or with a high level.
Yeah.
In Puglia, we have all also.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to discover.
Yeah. So Justin Thompson, you have to go to Puglia and to Grottamiranda because they have pizza there.
That's much more than pizza.
And I must say that this year we had a very interesting event because one of our guests who is watching us now, I think, Claudia, made us discover some people who make you visit some caves, and you have like a very big walk in the hills in some parts we didn't know, where you can visit some very old churches in the caves and inhabited caves. We are not far from Matera, very famous for its caves and its cave houses. But we have that also in Grottalie near Taranto, and it's really nice when we had the guests who discovered that sorts of things. And so I proposed this walk to a German couple, and they went there and they remained with the guide during the whole day. They came back, they were tired, but it's so nice. It's also another way to share, and when people can propose and offer the things they know. And so I have the paper now with the guide names. Cool. And so yes, in Puglia you can have sports also. It's a little more difficult because when you have very hot weather in summer, you can go and have a run. You can go and run at 6:30 in the morning. So after 9 o'clock, it begins to be more difficult because it's so hot. But there is also you can have sport. Sport.
So you recently added 5 new rooms to Grottamiranda, right? What is the future? Are you just going to keep building? Are you going to build a huge resort, or is that?
We don't want to be enormous. We don't want to be big. It's not. We want to be close to our guests and to know them and to share with them and to dedicate ourselves to the success of their holidays. So we have to know them. But
another thing is that in Puglia is also a very nice region because it is a saved region. They didn't accept to build some high buildings along the sea, and they didn't accept to make new houses in the olive groves. So you have many rules in order to keep the natural countryside.
The authentic.
Authentic.
So we must also respect those rules. And nowadays we can't go more.
We have the maximum according to the.
We haven't the right, in fact.
So the
we made the most it was possible.
The future could be to buy, if it's possible one day, a new land, to have a new authorization to build something new.
Yeah.
But for the moment, small we are, small we remain.
Yeah.
So we will develop more activities and to dedicate ourselves to new activities according to the question we can have or our guests would like to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To keep it personal. Yeah.
Great.
Very
Yeah.
important. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, our hour is almost running to an end.
So if you have more questions, now is the time.
If somebody
to
has
put it
another
in the
question,
chat.
now is a great time to ask it. And also to you, if there's something else you want to add about Grottamiranda, about Italy, about naturism, now is the right time.
Spotlight is on you.
Yeah.
Did we answer all the questions? Do you see them?
Now we
Yeah.
went through.
What happens if we make a booking
Yeah.
at the resort for August and we come? Of course, it's a good and very important question. So, yeah. In Italy, and we have a rule, all is planned for that. That is to say, even if you book, and if Corona didn't give you the opportunity to come, you can have two choices, either to postpone and to find out, and we are very flexible to find a solution, a new date, a new booking, a new period for that, or after 12 months to be reimbursed, to have a voucher.
Yeah.
Anyway, any people can't lose any money because and that was the case last year. We had the opportunity to find a solution for everybody or to reimburse the person. So no problem. If you book and if you can't come, we will find a solution.
Okay.
We got another
good question.
We got another question. If you have, if your resort can accept people who are disabled or handicapped.
Yes, it's possible. Our resort, there is a gate which is flat, and so you can, if the people are disabled in a wheelchair, it's possible to come through this gate. We have a disabled guest who did it, and we have some apartments which are also flat. And we created, for the new apartments, we created a special way in order to allow a wheelchair to go to the south-orientated apartments. Okay. So it's possible.
Nice.
I just have to say that as we are a Pulian stylish resort, in Puglia you have many little small walls everywhere made in stones. And so we have those stones and we have some steps in some places. But it's absolutely possible to enjoy a holiday by us with being disabled.
Yeah.
And if you are disabled because you don't hear anything, we can also, we did it this year. It's not a problem. Really, it's not a problem.
Yeah.
This just adds to the idea that Grottamiranda is a place where everybody can go to, where everybody is welcome, and where everybody is treated as a person.
Yeah, another number.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Before we say goodbye, we have a couple of things we would like to mention.
Oh,
first.
they still need the spotlight.
So, sorry, I completely forgot about the spotlight. Excuse me.
Nick.
I wanted to thank you, Willie, because for all the organization, and you did a lot for that. And we know you now for 2 years, and we know that you are generous. And this event and all you did is always with generosity. And for me, it was magic to imagine to speak with all the world, so many countries, because of your initiative. So Willie,
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we can't do it without you. So I wanted really to insist and to say thank you to Nick and Liz.
Thank
Voilà.
you very much. Really, really nice of you.
And may I answer to the last question?
Sure, go ahead.
I didn't say.
What if we said no?
Et Negro Amaro is Hellhout. Because I saw a question about Negro Amaro from a Dutch guest, and so
Belgian guest.
Heel duidelijk, yeah.
We met them when we were with you.
Yeah.
Et Negro Amaro is Hellhout.
Pierre is learning Dutch every night, so I don't know if the accent is good.
Yes,
very
heel
good.
goed.
Yeah?
Heel goed.
Okay, bravo.
We were going to skip the question because we prefer Fernet, but
Het gaat. Zalig.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wait, just a second.
just a second, we have a
just
couple of things we would still like to mention. It's about our future events.
Yeah.
Next week, we will cross the ocean and we will talk with Rolf and Cynthia from Arroyo del Sol in California.
Yeah, clothing optional B&B.
Clothing optional bed and breakfast.
Yeah.
And the week after, we are going to talk to Paulo and Nuno from Quinta do Amaral, a naturist campground in Portugal.
Yeah.
And there is also a new Simply Naked session coming up.
Woo, excited.
We are still, we are a group of people, so we constantly have to talk about how we're going to do it, when we're going to do it. So it's still in discussion, but the date is going to be announced really, really soon.
Yeah. So if you just follow us on our social medias, then you will see it passing by.
Check out our online events page on nakedwanderings.com and you will find it.
Oh.
And of course, we can only do these sessions because we have a lot of support on Patreon. And so if you want to support us, if you want to help us doing more for naturism, doing more of these sessions, doing more other things for naturism, check out our Patreon account. It's patreon.com/nakedwanderings. You can help us out a lot and we can do lots more of great stuff. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please click the subscribe button so you don't miss anything else of what we're going to post. And we're going to post a lot.
Voilà.
Grazie mille.
Grazie mille. And I want to add something. I want to say goodbye to everybody. Goodbye to all the person I know and to all the person I don't know. Bye-bye. Thank you for your time.
To everybody who's here and everybody who's watching. Thank you very much.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good luck.
Bye.
Good luck. Bye-bye.